Hi, I'm Larry Port with Rocket Matter, and we're going to do a little brief introduction to legal trust accounting. So, I think what's important to know with this demonstration is that this is not meant to be a complete and entire overview of trust accounting. Obviously, you're going to have to check with your local jurisdiction. But the whole idea is for us to really get the core idea and to demonstrate in action what it's like to maintain a trust account. So, the basic concept of the trust account is to keep our property separate from the property of the client or the third party. So obviously a very important idea, and you must have funds in two separate accounts. You got to have an operating account and you got to have a trust account. Most trust accounting stuff comes down to advanced fees. A client will provide you advanced fees. So, and that will basically be borne out of your fee agreement that you establish with your client. So they're advance fees, which means you haven't done work on them. So they're going to be deposited in trust until such work is performed. And here you see a little image of an invoice. And the thing to always remember to keep you out of trouble is the funds in your trust account are not yours. To illustrate the principles of trust accounting, we're going to create a client and a matter and work through a billing cycle. So I'll click Add Matter. I'm going to add a client's name. We'll just use my name. Click Next. Okay, let's enter a matter name. Let's do blue versus white because I'm a big Penn State fan. And if you notice on this screen, I'm going to select bill on an hourly basis. And down here I have a little trust account window where I can say how much I've received in advanced fees. So I'm going to put $1,000 into trust, and I'm going to assign a attorney to this matter. So we now have our new matter. You can see down here we have a trust account widget that shows us the balance for this client. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to log some time. So I'm going to click the bill expense or time. I'm going to select a date in the past just to simulate a date in the past that we maybe have done something. Let's say we did some research. We researched a case precedent using Fastcase. We have friends there. And I am going to add, let's say 3.3 hours worth of time for Sally Jones. I'm going to click OK. Now you see over here that we have $330 for this matter pending invoicing, and that we have $1,000 in trust. So let's run an invoice. We have $330 ready to go, and we have $1,000 in our trust account. So I'm going to click this number, which takes us to a detailed billing screen, and I'm going to click the invoice button. I'm going to go through a couple options. I'm just going to mark this as an invoice. Since it has a large system effect, I don't want to run a practice pre-bill, and I'm going to choose a PDF because I want to email this thing. Would I like the invoice to reflect available trust funds as having been transferred? I could do that if I want to and have the funds immediately transferred when I run the invoice, but no, because I want to demonstrate for educational purposes how this process works. I'm going to click No. Are you sure you want to run invoices? Yes, I do. Okay, so let's take a look at our invoice. Here's the account statement page of our invoice, and as you can see up top that our matter balance is $330. There's $330 available in trust that we can transfer over, so the total due is really zero because we're going to apply that. That's now our money because we perform that work. We're obligated to move it from the trust account into our operating account. And you can see there's some more detail here about the matter information, the trust account information, and the itemized invoice. Not too much to look at there. So back in the system, we're going to take a look at where we are with all of our matters and all of our trust account situations, and it's really not that hard to do. So you want to make sure that you copiously document all of the trust accounting activity you do. You want to make sure that you are tracking when money is moving into the trust account, when money is moving out of the trust account, and so on and so forth. So let's take a look, and we can take a look at our trust balance at a glance. And as you can see, these are all of my clients and their trust balances. And what I can do is I can drill into any one of these client balances and see exactly what the story is. So if you take a look, this is the client ledger for Lawrence Port. We have $1,000 trust balance. Pending withdrawal is $330. Those were the funds I just ran on that invoice. So after that, I can see what's pending to be invoiced, I have no additional work that's coming up, and I can also see how much is going to remain total for this account once I make that confirmation. So if you look down here, you see all of the activity for this client, and you see this invoice, white versus blue matter, and if I click on that, I'll be able to see both the invoice and the matter itself. And you see this little button over here that says click to confirm. So when I write the check from the trust account to the operating account, or I transfer the funds, I'm going to record this in my ledger. And I just recorded it. And you'll see that my trust balance is now adjusted to 670. There's 670 remaining in it, total for across all of the information in the account. I can see the totals for this particular matter, and I can see that my matter ledger is 0 and there's nothing pending invoicing. This is crucial because what you need to be able to do if you're ever challenged on your trust accounting records is you need to be able to produce documents. So it's not just your bank statements, it's not going to be your confirmation slips and everything related to that. What you're going to need to show is a couple different perspectives, a couple of points of views, right? You're going to want to show the money movement from the perspective of the client, money movement from the perspective of any third parties that you have to write checks to in a settlement. And you're going to have to show the overall trust account, money in and money out. So that's a lot of stuff to track, and that's why you need a ledgering system that you feel very comfortable with. So I'm going to show you a little bit more. Hopefully this will firm things up a little bit. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a look at the trust account information across the entire firm. So on this user dashboard, I'm going to click on View Billing Dashboard, and I'm taken to this screen. So I see up top basically everything that I have going on in my firm at once. And by the way, all of this stuff is permissionable, so you can restrict access to certain users that you don't want to see this sensitive information. There is 14 grand available in trust. There's $4,000 eligible for withdrawal from trust. So again, we have this concept. The money in the trust is not ours. The money in the trust is not ours. It's our clients. But this $4,000 is work we performed, and it's rightfully ours. So first, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the 14,000. And this is the screen we saw before, right? We saw these different clients, and we can drill into them. For instance, let's drill into this one since it has a high total. Notice that most of the money, in fact, all of the money pending for withdrawal, are from this single client. They have a trust balance. They have a pending withdrawal. And I can see the invoices right here. And I can see click to confirm, those invoices. If I want to register in my ledger that I've transferred the money from the trust to the operating account now that I've earned it. And I can also see on the right hand side the individual matters and how they total up. And I can quite easily go and take a specific look at those matters. And so you can see how I can drill in from a very high level down to a client level and then into a matter level. So I have very, very good insight into how I'm doing and how I'm managing my trust fund. So what I want to show real quick though, going back to the billing dashboard in a second, is the breakdown of the $4,000. Okay? So this screen shows you all of the invoices that's related to your trust accounting activity. I have $4,000, so I can do them one by one if I want to, but I can also click to confirm in one fell swoop all of them. And now everything's taken care of. And if I screwed up, then I can undo one of them, and that's how things work in our system. So we've tried to make it very clear and easy for you to work with your trust accounts and understand how trust accounting works. So that was a lot of information to cover. Right now you're probably feeling like this woman here. I want to close by saying that you need to do research into your own jurisdiction. It's up to you to determine what the rules of professional conduct are in your circumstance. Thanks very much for attending. More detailed information is available at info.rocketmatter.com/trust-account.